Hezekiah, due to the fact Hezekiah was a righteous king. But prior to the life of Hezekiah, his father, Ahaz, was a king that did evil in the sight of God. Some of you may have read the story of Hezekiah, may have heard that at the point of death, every king that done right in Israel and Judah, and every king that done right even in Israel, Israel didn't have a lot of righteous kings. They had maybe one or two. But everybody in Judah most of the kings were righteous, but some of them weren't. Now, when Hezekiah began to reign, but at the point of his death, he said he did that which was right in the sight of God, and he was buried with his father David. But every other king that died in sin and did not walk in the precepts of God, they said they died and were buried in the garden, or they were buried in the city of David. They had a segment dedicated just for those who didn't please God to be buried at, and those that died doing what the Lord said do. They were buried with David, so they were known as the sons of David. Why? Because everything leaders take first in the Old Testament and the New Testament paved the line that everybody that came through the line of David had to be righteous. You know the point? Matthew chapter 1 tells us in the chronology of Jesus Christ, Jesus came down through 42 generations. History says that somebody on the line of Joseph was contrary and done something that was pleasing inside of God. So what God did, what Jesus did, he jumped lines. And he came down the line of Mary. History says that Mary and Joseph were distant relatives, and that's been proven to be true, because in the Old Testament, God had to keep the bloodline pure from being tainted by other nations, because other nations wasn't sin. Symbolic to the church today how sin and righteousness can't go hand in hand. Don't you know this is why they tell us in the